let's get to it. So I got to talk about the Minnesota Vikings offensive line as a whole. Now, as we know, years previous, the O-line has been a problem. It has been the weakest link up until this point this season, right? And even this season, first game, second game, up until now, week 8, a lot of fans, me, myself included, have been saying how piss poor, right, the O-line is or was or has been performing. Talked about the amount of sacks they've given up, how they couldn't get their running game going, right? All these problems with the O-line, how they were the weakest link, but now it's turning out the facts, the stats, the truth is they're one of the strong points of the team. Now, I know sometimes you can get deceived, right, by stats, numbers, rankings, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes you got to take a look at the eye test. And let's be real, first week, second week of the season, they didn't look that great. You know, it was pressure being created. Kirk was getting hit in the mouth. Couldn't get the run game going, right? But at the end of the day, now that you look at it and take a different look, it may not have all been on the O-line, and especially the performance they put together versus the 49ers and their PFF rankings, overall rankings, right? NFL, ESPN rankings, all have them in the top 10 of every category. So now you got to go back and look at the Bucks game and the Eagles game, Chargers game, et cetera, right? Chiefs game. And you may have to put some blame on other players, other personnel, maybe Kirk Cousins in previous games, definitely the running backs. So it might not have all been on the O-line because this year they're performing great. And as we take a look at the stats, rankings, et cetera, down the board, let's just get into it now, right? Heavy. PFF ranks the Vikings O-line second. I repeat, PFF has the Minnesota Vikings offensive line ranked second in pass blocking and top 10 in run blocking, baby. Yeah, the numbers don't lie, right? Now, like I say, don't be deceived by numbers, but the performance they put on versus the 49ers, not only them, Kirk Cousins, the improvements from the receivers, even the running backs had some good runs. But from the rankings, from the performance, you got to sit back and really say, has it even been a bad O-line? Have they been as bad as we may have thought? Yeah. Have they really been that atrocious? You understand? Now, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, the run game's not going. It's the O-line. It's the interior. But really, Ed Ingram, Ezra Cleveland, Dalton Risner now, Garrett Bradbury, since he's been back, they're a top 10 unit in the NFL, something you can't ignore. We talking facts, talk about facts, truth, right? You cannot ignore that they have been performing at a high level, dog. So you can't deny that. So maybe the reason the run game hasn't been going or hasn't been producing the amount of yards that we expect, maybe it's because the running backs, maybe they play a major role or have played a major role, especially Alexander Madison. Maybe KOC needs to go with Cam Akers more and see what he can really do, right? But you got to look at the running backs as a whole. How are they running that tater? Yeah. How are they toting that tater week in, week out? Are they hitting the holes, hitting the right holes? Are they using their vision to hit the right lane, make the right cutbacks, break some tackles, be elusive, right? Things you got to think about. Then you look at the performance, the talent, the show that Kirk Cousins put on display versus the Niners. Damn! How he bought himself some time. How he stepped up in the pocket, wasn't a sitting duck. Even when it was a small amount of pressure When the pocket was caving in, he stepped left, stepped right. He got the ball out quicker, right? Made boom, quick decisions. Looked like he was prepared, knew what was coming, knew where his receivers would be every time, right? So maybe it was Kirk holding on to the ball too long or making the wrong decisions, right? Now we got to look at it full spectrum, baby. So I think the days are gone where we can just put the blame on the O-line. And me, include myself like, hey, if you're right, you're right. You're wrong, you're wrong. I'll be the first one to give props when props is due. Heavy. And at the end of the day, oh yeah, I'm a true fan and I want to see them boys win. Yeah, do I get pissed, mad when they're playing down, not performing at the level they should be performing at? Hell to the yeah. Period, bottom line. I ain't gonna ride nuts like a lot of fans, dog. Just say something nice, say something that sounds good for a like, for a view. Kill that noise, bro. Nah, big Skol here, man. But you got to look at all aspects now, man. The line has performed well. You talk about Christian Darrisaw. You can just say he's the best tackle in the game right now. Man, he's a man out there. He's a dog out there. He gets his paws on you, you ain't going nowhere, bro. They gave up 0 sacks as a unit. You dig me? Then you get my drift. They gave up 0 sacks versus the Niners. One of the best defensive fronts in the NFL, bro. Can you ignore that? No, you got to respect it. Christian Darrisaw leads the way, man. The way he handled, controlled Nick Bosa and all their personnel up front was amazing, dog. You talk about put on a show. You talk about potentially once in a lifetime generation player at that position. Can't replace Christian Darrisaw. But not only that, you talk about Brian O'Neill, a top tackle in the NFL as well. Garrett Bradbury, a top 10 center in the NFL. Dalton Risner, Ed Ingram, both making progress. Now, can they make improvements? Yes. But what they did against the Niners is very rare. Hasn't happened all season, dog. You cannot ignore that. Period. Bottom line. This unit has came a long way. Now they are finally on the same accord. They're protecting their quarterback. And you see what happens when Kirk has time in that pocket. He will pick any team apart. I don't care who they're playing. You give Kirk Cousins time, right? He will pick apart any defense, but at the same time, it will not always be perfect. So sometimes Kirk will have to help out his O-line, right? Create time for himself, especially if we're talking playoffs in the future. It's never easy, dog. It's never perfect. That was an aberration. Period, bottom line, right? So Kirk, he's going to have to step up some games. Pick his O-line up. Make big plays for his team. Even when he may get hit in the mouth. Be under pressure. Take some sacks. He got to step up sometimes, man. Deliver the favor, you dig me? Right? It is what it is, baby. But shout out to the Minnesota Vikings O-line, dog. They are finally playing well. Matter of fact, they have been performing well. Can't take that away from them. I was on their head top heavy. My bad, dog. My bad. No problem with saying that. Period. Now, from the eye test early in the season, were they giving up sacks, pressures? Yes. Can they perform better? Yes. But they did that versus the Niners. What more could you ask, baby? What more could you ask, dog? Versus arguably the best team in the NFL, bro. They put on a show. Heavy. Respect to them boys, man. You got to look at the running backs, man. Let's get into the running backs, man. That's what it comes down to. You talk about rushing game, lack of rushing yards. I truly believe now, at this point, you got to look at the running back personnel in the room. And that's on KOC, Kevin O'Connell, for still leaning on Alexander Madison heavy. It's time to see Cam Akers, man. It's time to see more T.Y. Chandler, point blank, period. Respect to Maddie, man. Wish him the best. But is he an NFL starter? What he's shown, what he's put on the field, he's very one-dimensional. At least with Cam Akers, you get a versatile back. He hasn't even got a chance to get into rhythm for real. He hasn't played a whole game off the rip, getting carries, catching screen passes, coming out the backfield, right? Even T.Y. Chandler, he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities, but every time he touches the ball, he explodes. So I'm not understanding KOC Kevin O'Connell, man. Why he continues to lean on Madison, ride on Madison, bro. That guy drops a lot of passes. He dropped another one in the end zone versus the Niners for not just sitting in the route, in the zone, waiting for the football. Period. So I don't know if it's favoritism, just being too loyal, but at the end of the day, KOC, if he want to get this run game going, it's time to start Cam Akers and get T.Y. Chandler more involved. Point blank, period, baby. Let's just look at some of the stats, man. Starting with Alexander Madison. 20 receptions, 107 yards, 5.4 average yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. Yards a game averaged 15.3, touchdown percentage 10%, 31 targets, 5 drops. 5 drops, man. 5 big drops, heavy. They came in opportunities to tie the game, win the game. The game versus the Chiefs, what did Matty do? Dropped a big catch. Versus the Niners, what did Madison do? Dropped a big catch, man. These are not no light incompletions. These are potentially game-changing plays that Alexander Madison does not show up continuously. The only time he made a big play was what? Versus the Bucs. First game of the season. Bottom line, heavy, man. Let's look at his rushing attempts. 90 attempts, 359 yards, 4 yards average a carry. How? How is he only averaging 4 yards a carry when obviously, from the rankings, PFF grade for the O-line, the holes are open. It's the running back's job to hit the holes, to have vision, to know when to cut back, go left, go right. Choose the right lane. Hit the gap. Run hard, be elusive, break some tackles. It's no reason you can't tell me with the O-line they have, how the O-line has been performing. They shouldn't be getting 5, 6 yards a pop, baby. Hands down, man down. Period, bottom line. So that stat shows you right there. Alexander Madison is not the guy, at least he's not the starter. Period. You got to start looking at these running backs, man. Lack of performance, dog. 0 touchdowns. 0 touchdowns, man. This must be a record. This must be history. No touchdowns from your running back, your starting running back, huh? How many trips have the Vikings had to the goal line and you can't score? You can't run that tater and get it in the end zone? Come on, bro. Inexcusable, man. Inexcusable. And KOC as the head coach should know that and see that and respond to it. Period, man. Forget favoritism, being loyalty. Being loyal, right? Put the best man in the game, bro. Heavy. It's going to continue to hold the Vikings back. You got to score in the red zone. Period. You got to put points up in the red zone, man. That's just what it is, bro. That's the league they're in. Score, man. Come on, man. 51 yards a game. Piss poor. 1 fumble. His longest run was 19 yards. Touchdown percentage, 10%. Come on, man. Is that good enough? Really ask yourself, is Alexander Madison performing well enough to continue to be the starter? No, man. Clear to see, man. No, dog. We know what time it is, baby. Let's look at Cam Akers' stats. Games played only 4. 7 receptions, 51 yards. 7.3 yards a catch average. Touchdown 0. 12 yards a game. 8 targets, 0 drops. His numbers are damn near better than Madison's with less opportunities, man. Right? Come on, man. Give Cam Akers the ball more. Every time he touches the ball, whether it's a screen pass or run, he does something with it. He produces. You got to see that on film. I mean, you can't ignore it. I'm sure the coaches see it, the players see it, even the offensive line. They putting all this work in, blocking their ass off. Their reward is when the offense scores. So why not put the best running back in to help your offense get to that next level? That's my question, man. I'm not understanding it. Yes, KOC called a great game, but at the end of the day, some players that he continues to try to lean on, I'm not getting it, man. I don't understand the logic in it. It's no logic at the end of the day. Alexander Mattison should not be the starter right now, man. It should be Cam Akers. Rushing attempts 21, man. Only 21 attempts, 94 yards. You dig me? 21 attempts, 94 yards, man. And he still hasn't got the chance to get in rhythm for real, find his groove for real. That takes time, man. Right? That comes with carries during the game. You know, starting. Getting into your groove, man. Filling the game out, right? It's an overall feel, right? Football offense about rhythm, timing, etc. How can he find his rhythm? And he's barely getting carries, getting attempts. Every time he touches the ball, he produces. But then they either take him out, back to Matty. Man, I don't get it, bro. Period. Let's be real. Once again, 21 attempts, 94 yards, 4.5 average yards a carry, more than Madison. Once again, more than Madison. 0 touchdowns, 23 yards a game average. His longest run, 13 yards. Let's go, man. Give Cam Akers his carries, baby. Come on, KOC. It's like, at this point, it's like, how bad do they want to win? How bad do they want it? You're not scoring in the red zone, KOC. Come on, man. Forget all that favoritism, who's been there the longest. It's clear to see, it's evident. Cam Akers is the better back than Alexander Mattison. Period, bottom line, man. And I hear speculations about should the Vikings trade for Derrick Henry, this and that. How do you know what you have in Cam Akers? Before going to make a trade for Derrick Henry, when really they should be focusing on the defensive side of the ball, the trenches, maybe a cornerback. And you talk about draft capital, you're going to have to at least give up a day 2, day 3 pick? Is it worth it? Come on, man. Why do they need Derrick Henry when you got Cam Akers, T.Y. Chandler in the backfield? All KOC got to do is wake up and realize Alexander Mattison, it may be a tough decision, but he might need to be on the 3rd string, period, and start incorporating plays and schemes for Cam Akers and T.Y. Chandler. It's a difference in explosiveness, running, shiftiness, elusiveness, wiggle, all that, baby. Come on, baby. Enough is enough. Now let's look at T.Y. Chandler now. 5 receptions, 43 yards. Averages 8.6 yards a reception, 0 touchdowns. Even him, we've seen T.Y. Chandler all season, every game. Anytime the ball gets in his hands, he does something with it. He looks explosive. He creates holes, right? Creates lanes for himself sometimes. Breaks tackles. A beast in the open field. Yeah. You can talk about or debate about his pass blocking or lack of. Okay, don't put him in a game on pass blocking situations. This ain't rocket science. You can solve the problem. But because one spot is his weak point, you're not going to feed his strengths. You're not going to feed him the ball when he showed clearly what he can do with it. His potential, Come on, his game-changing ability, if we want to be real, out of all the running backs, He is the fastest and most explosive. The guy runs a 4.3 something, baby. Come on, man. Use your weapons, KOC. Use your weapons, big dog. Come on now, take full advantage. Right? It's not fair to the offense. Let's go, man. What's the deal? Rushing attempts, only 8 rushing attempts, but guess what? 42 yards. Only 8 rushing attempts, but 42 yards, baby. He averages 5.2 yards a carry, more than Matty and Cam Akers. So what do you mean? That's more like it. With that O-line, they should be averaging 6 yards a pop. Period, bottom line, man. The O-line moving bodies, moving company, baby. Heavy. Line them up. 5 yards a carry, man. Touchdown, 0. 6 yards a game. Longest run, 15 yards, man. So I just wanted to put those stats with it, man. Stats with the talking to really break down why Alexander Mattison is not your starter. He should not be your starter. Heavy. It should be Cam Akers, T.Y. Chandler. Then you can mix Alexander Mattison in here or there. Maybe a tough decision, but KOC being a head coach, guess what? That comes with the territory. That's what he signed up for. I don't care how hard the decision is. Put the best man on the field, baby, or you're going to hold your team back. Just like KJ Osborne and Brandon Powell. Brandon Powell is a better receiver than KJ Osborne. It's no disrespect. It's facts. Truth, baby. So how about people stop being soft and accept the truth? Period, bottom line. I heard somebody in the comments say, 1 week bashing a team or next week happy, whatever. No, bro. Don't get it misconstrued. Period, bottom line. Difference between me, I'm a true fan and I don't ride nuts. So yeah, I'm going to get on their head top when they're not performing at a high level. Or when they're making dumb mistakes, turning the ball over, bro. Because you know they better than that. Period, bottom line. But when they do good, I'm going to give big props and be the first one to say, my bad. I apologize, I was wrong, bro. So let's not get it twisted. Because a lot of fans just ride nuts. Whatever's going on with the team, they could be performing piss poor. And fans still going to be cool with it. That Minnesota nice. Being cool with being average and mediocre, man. At the end of the day, I may get mad, pissed off, but I'm happy when them boys win. What is you talking about, heavy? Yeah, a little side note in here. Yeah. I get ecstatic when them boys win. Heavy, because I want to see them win for real. True fan here, baby. Big Skol here. What up? Get at me. So I had to throw that in there, man, because people get to yapping and capping, right? I gotta make some things clear. Set the record straight, baby. But bottom line is, man, KOC, it's time to switch it, man. Come on. Y'all gonna make a run or what's up? We see who brings the most talent to the table at that running back room. And the way your O-line is performing, you are doing them a disservice. Your offense a disservice, baby. For not having the best men on the field at every position, big dog. No disrespect. You coached a great game versus the Niners, but you as well have to keep it going. It's one game. So it's on you for real, though, O'Connell. How bad do you really want to win? But it is evident once again, the O-line is performing great. Shout out to them. Respect to them. Keep balling, man. But Alexander Mattison, maybe time for him to, maybe. It's time for him to sit down. It's time for Cam Akers to be that number one back. See how he does with more attempts, more opportunities, more carries. The same goes for T.Y. Chandler. Give these guys a chance to play. It's only right. Let me know how you feel about it, man. Fire them comments up. Fire them comments up, huh? Feedback is much appreciated. Big Skol here, man. Skol Vikes forever. Heavy.